Today is August 26th and it's about 9:30 or 10 o'clock in the morning, and I am motoring out using the Navy 3.0. And the goal today, because there's not supposed to be much wind, there's a little bit of wind out there right now actually, but for the most part today there's not supposed to be more than 2 or 3 knots of wind. So my goal today is to just actually motor. Talk about progress and stuff. So right now we're using about 350 watts of power, doing 3.6 knots. I'll probably end up going faster than that. If I go 5 knots on average, that will take me 6 hours, 5 to 6 hours, and that's plenty long enough. My goal originally was to leave a lot earlier this morning, but there was thunderstorm stuff, so it's still raining a little bit, but the storm's passed, and so I'm heading out now. Crabtree Point, which is around the corner down that way. We are going about 5 knots. So I've decided to basically just adjust the engine output to just about maintain about 5 knots, whatever that takes. So if I got a little current going with me, it'll be a little less. If I've got current or wind going against me, a little bit more. So far, we've gone 1.4 nautical miles. See, we're going 5.1 knots. The battery's at 97%. We left with a full charge, and we're using 623 watts for the power right now. So, and see, that's where we are. We're on our chart, and I've got the Pelagic autopilot working. Makes it easier to do videos, and somebody else is steering. So that's nice to have that. We've got a little bit of current going with us now. The current's already switched and started going the other way in different parts of Penobscot Bay. So it'll be turning pretty soon. Mountains over there. And the islands. Really beautiful place up here. So that's Crabtree Point down there. That's where we're going around. We'll be going up the thoroughfare between North Haven and Vinyl Haven. So here we are coming around Crabtree Point and then North Haven. And that's the monument over there at the end of Fiddle Ledge. Going 4.2 knots. Still using about 625 watts of power. We've gone 5 nautical miles. You can see that says 4.1 knots. That's our current speed, and we're at 91% on the battery. So we started off with 99%, or essentially 100% on the battery. Gone through about 10% of it. Gone about 5 nautical miles. There we go. So that means that this speed, with this engine speed and power consumption, we could go, probably 50 miles, a little bit more than that, 55 miles. So I'm going to speed up a little bit because I want to keep this going at 5 knots. So let's do that and let's see what happens. So try maybe around like 800. Alright, so anyway, that's about 850, 860 watts. I'm pulling now. Says we're doing 4.6 knots. That's pretty much an agreement. So I'm going to go ahead and speed up a little bit more. Really going more than 5 knots is kind of crazy anyway. We're just going to suck through lots of power. So I guess I'll leave it like this for a little bit and see how it goes as we come around the corner. Okay, so we come around the corner of the monument there. Definitely some wind against us. You know, that's going to fly up there. The wind's coming essentially go over that way. And here's a back off here. There we go. So there's a little bit of an overview of what we're doing. So this is North Haven Island right here. That's Pulpit Harbor. That's where we left from. We've come down this way, going around the corner. That little triangular pointy thing there, that's us. We're going to be going through here and then back around here. So for a little while the tide will be going with us through this way. Then we've got the wind coming down against us that way, so I think that kind of evens things out. We'll see how it goes. Basically we're going around here, and then we'll probably be going against the wind up this way, because by this afternoon the wind should be coming in from the southwest like it usually does up that way. So we are doing only 4.3 knots or so. The wind made a big difference. This hull's got boat's got a lot of windage. So there's that. Sorry, just adjusting course here a little bit. But we'll see how it goes. At 5.7 miles so far, out of probably 25 to 30 or so, and use 10% of our battery capacity. We're obviously going through it much faster now. Going at almost 1,000 watts, 950 watts or so, versus the 625 we were doing before. With the autopilot on, it's doing a good job of steering while I film things. We're doing about 4.5 knots, 800 watts. Decided 4.5 knots is pretty good. 5 knots is really just pulling a lot of power, not going that much faster. And we've gone 7 miles, 7.1 nautical miles so far. The Browns Head Lighthouse over there. Hard for you to see it on the buoy, but there's not much current. Not much current one way or the other. Not much wind one way or the other either. So doing 4.7 knots, 4.6 knots, or whatever this is, 4.5, using 825 watts or so. Probably a pretty good number of power consumption for that speed for this boat. Yeah, see, there's really no current at all in that. So it's slack tide right now. Alright, so I have no idea why, but I did not adjust the speed at all, and all of a sudden we're at 5 knots. So it happened just as we came around that little point there. Maybe there was a little current. It certainly didn't look like there was any on any of the lobster buoys that we passed. There's a little bit of wind, slightly against us. There's scenery. See a little bit of breeze there is coming from that direction. So slightly slowing us down, one would think, but all of a sudden we're doing 5 knots. Who knows? I'll take it. So we've done a little over 8 miles of the trip so far. That's that number there. Still pulling about 830 watts at the speed we're going now, 84% battery, and doing 4.9, 5 knots. something like that. Who knows? Maybe there was a bit of seaweed wrapped around the propeller that I didn't see. Maybe that cleared off. Anyway, it's doing pretty good now. So here we are, cruising around doing a similar speed. See all the wasted energy on that. Squatting really low in the water, making lots of waves. Doing 250s on the back. Of course, we're not using all that horsepower right now, but insane amount of horsepower, 500 horsepower essentially versus the 5 horsepower equivalent, the 3 kilowatt outboard that I'm using. And you can see efficiency-wise, I'm hardly making any waves at all. Those are the other guys' waves. See my little waves there, the tiny little ones. As usual, the whole electric thing's all about being efficient. Right kind of hull design, long, narrow, thin. So still doing, I don't know, we're doing 5.5 knots. Yeah. Maybe we were surfing a little bit on that guy's wake. About 820 watts. Fluctuates up and down a bit. And 8.9, 8.7 miles so far, and this is the town of North Haven coming up. Ferry terminal, Brown's Boathouse. Concordia yawl there. And that's where we're going to be going, down that way. There's a seal up there. I can find it in the, there it goes. Right in the middle of the screen. There we go. These power boaters are always in a big hurry. Look at that dinghy there. So if you just let out a little bit more line, instead of dragging that thing, sticking straight up like that, you could actually get it on a stern wave and let it surf behind him a little bit. This guy's just passing me now. You can see he's pretty close to hull speed. The wave up here at the bow, wave here. You go a little faster, maybe 5.5 knots. He's probably doing 5 right now because he's passing me. I'm doing 4.87, almost 5. And of course, he's making a lot more noise than I am, and using quite a lot more energy. If he slowed down just a little bit, he would use a lot less fuel. But most people don't understand that. Whole parade of boats coming along. Oh, that's a beautiful one. Schooner comes out, which is excellent. And of course, if I had my solar charge controllers and my solar panels, which I don't have yet, but if I did, then they could be out here on the 2 trampolines, and I could easily be getting 400 watts of solar power, probably 800 watts if I got enough sets of folding solar panels and stuff out there. Lots and lots of area out here, and then if I was doing that, I'd be regaining all of the power that I'm using, which means that as long as it's sunny on a time, you know, a day like this, cruising along with, you know, no wind, no tide or whatever, essentially just do that endlessly as long as the sun's out. And/or do it earlier in the morning and then be sailing and then, you know, sun shining and pick that energy back up again to use at a different time. Lots of possibilities once you're electric. That's that sailboat that passed me a while ago. Only going a little bit faster than I am. We're just about on our way out of the thoroughfare. You see there's still no tide. And I'm watching happily. It's noon. It's 12 o'clock and we left Pulpit Harbor at 10 minutes to 10. So we've been going for 2 hours. And in those 2 hours we've covered 11.2 nautical miles. And we're at 78% battery charge right now, still doing a little over 5 knots, 5.1, 5.2. There's no wind to speak of, which was the plan. Rob's buoy. If I can find it, there it is. So yeah, good day for doing an experiment like this. So I've slowed down just a little bit just to make a point because it's super calm and flat right now. No wind, no current or anything. And so we're pulling 420 watts or so. So, you know, about half of what we were pulling before. And we're doing 4.6 knots. So 20% decrease in speed and half the power that we're using. So it makes a big difference. Slowing down is huge on an electric boat. Any boat, really. It'll speed up again in a few seconds. Just wanted to make that point. That's that. You know, if you can see him way out there. That's that sailboat that passed me, the blue one. I was talking about the whole speed thing. So, what was remarkable is also that I could smell his diesel fumes for a really long way. On a day like this where you have hardly any wind, you're just following somebody like that. They're just laying down a little cloud of fumes behind them. So they also don't realize that they've got another nice benefit of being electric. So this is Calderwood Island right here. That's Babbage Island over there. Calderwood again, and then this is Stimson over here. Rugged coast on that one. And we're just going to go right down through this whole channel here. So this is Calderwood Island again. It's got this nice little cove, little beaches. There's a nice little beach on the other side too, and you can hike over the top of it. You can see those people there that just came over the bridge. They're hiking just over the top of those trees there. You can kind of see some of them. But yeah, really nice, cute little place. Somebody with a boat on the beach, the hikers right up there. Yeah, and a great beach on the other side. We used to come here when our kids were little and anchor the boat over here, row in and then hike over to the other side. Like around down on the beach over there and then come over here. Nice boats. And again, just a super calm, beautiful day. Penobscot Bay. This just give you an overview where we are. This is where we started over here in Pulpit Harbor. We've gone all the way around here. We're up to here. We've just got that little last bit to go. Got 74% battery. Sun's getting cold. It's hard to see these things. 74% on the battery. We've gone 4.2 miles. I've slowed down to just 6:25 because it really doesn't make much difference. Go a whole lot, use a whole lot more energy, and I'm already going 4.8 miles an hour. Or sorry, 4.8 knots. So, you know, use huge pile, 30% more energy to go a tiny bit faster. Just totally silly. So anyway, that's what we're doing right now. Got a little bit of wind against me, but we've also got a little bit of tide with us. Just see it on the buoy there. So the net effect is 5 knots at about 780 or so watts, 72% battery. And we've gone 15.6 nautical miles so far. That's Burnt Island right there. And Oak Island. There. These are the Blue Hills over here. You can see all the clouds forming as they usually do in the afternoon, or frequently do. It's going really well. By the way, I really like this map tattoo unit. It's very power efficient. It's only, you know, black and white, but really easy to see even in full daylight. And I don't know if you can see it down there, but it's still got 72% of its battery left. And it had maybe like 80% when we started this, so it's super efficient. Lasts a long time, no sweat. So I've got a lobster buoy I gotta watch out for. So here we are back at Pulpit Harbor again. It was a shorter trip than I thought. I thought it was 25 to 30 miles around. I thought it was going to be something like that, but it actually just under 20. By the time we get to actually to Pulpit Rock, it'll definitely be 20 miles, 20 nautical miles. So that's you know, 20 nautical miles, and it's we left 4 hours and 15 minutes ago, which is an average speed of 4.7 knots. So that's pretty close to what I intended to do. Currently we're doing 5.11 knots, and we're using about 670 watts power. Still very calm, smooth conditions. Not much in the way of current or wind or anything like that, and we still have 65% on the battery. And if I hit this button there, and it'll tell me that at this rate we could still go another 42 nautical miles, which is pretty amazing. That's like, you know, 50 something statute miles, and that's pretty remarkable. Seeing as how we already did 20 and we did it at a fairly good clip. So I hope all that was useful. I certainly had fun doing it, making the trip. enjoying the scenery. Little motorboat wake right now. And you can see there's a big cloud behind me. There's rain under it. This looks pretty cool. It's nice being up here on the Maine coast. Fun doing this sort of thing.